Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me for part 2 of why I was depressed and now how I got out of depression. So, in my last video, I talked about how when I was 16 is when I really started getting depressed, but when I started getting out of it, I was about 18. But I was still struggling. The way I said struggling sounds like Chang struggling over here. I don't know why Missy Elliott popped in my head. But I was still struggling mentally until about 21, and I wouldn't say that I had a completely happy mindset until about 22. So it is a process, but once I started this process, it took just a couple weeks for me to feel a difference in happiness. So what made me even begin this process was laying in bed, doom scrolling, and just having the realization that I don't want to feel like this anymore, and I was sick of my own crap, of being in my head and being self-conscious and putting myself down and having all of these negative thoughts about how I was going to amount to nothing, and all these thoughts about that I didn't want to live anymore. And so I had to, and I knew I had to, rewire my brain to think a different way. And yes, we do have the power to rewire our brains in a different way. And for example, you say to yourself in your head, that was so stupid of me. Why would I do something like that? To, I made a mistake, and it's a way for me to learn and become a better person. And our mistakes make us human. And it's okay. And the fact that you're even reflecting on it shows that you want to be a good person, and that you are a good person. Just something like that. Or you look in the mirror and you say, I'm not skinny enough. You change that to, I just want to feel healthy because I love the body that I already have. Or all I want to do is lay in bed and I don't have energy to do anything else. And change that to, well, maybe I'll just sit outside and feel the sun on my face. And soak up some of that energy. Doesn't require much. And it's every little step that counts. And honestly, being inside, especially if you're on your phone for hours, can make you feel like donkey poop. So get outside, for sure. Getting outside is helped tremendously. And yeah, just rewiring constantly. And it feels so fake at first. I remember when I first started doing this and I was so stuck in that mindset of negativity, when I started trying to change it to positivity, it felt so fake. And it will for a little bit until it becomes you, because you can create whatever you want to be. And what you tell yourself becomes your reality. because you create it. You are the creator. You can't control the things that happen to you externally, but you can control the calm that you come home to when chaos is going on around you in your life. You can come home to that safe space within yourself. And when you stop looking outside of yourself for affirmation and love and acceptance from people around you, and for certain things to happen and then you'll be happy. Oh, well, if I get this job or this house or this item or this or that, whatever it is, then I'll be happy. That is a lie to yourself. That is continuing to rely on external things which are constantly changing. They're never the same. You never know what's going to happen. You never know anything that could happen. Your house could be demolished by a storm. All your items could be gone. And what would you be left with? That voice within yourself to say that everything's okay, to say that you're doing your best. That voice to be there and be your peace when there isn't any peace around you. And that's what you have to be, because if you look externally and you keep thinking, when I get this, when I get that, it's gonna be better, it's not. If you constantly come to yourself at the end of the day and there's chaos. So that's something that I had to learn, to stop looking and caring about other people's opinions of me and letting other people tell me how I should feel about myself. Because you know what? No one else can tell me how I feel about myself. And that was something that helped me to get out of depression. I said, I don't care. I'm gonna be who I want to be and do what I want to do. And the people that like me, great. Because I love myself for everything that I am. If people don't like me, then oh well, it's probably not someone that I want to have in my life anyway. And that's the rewiring process. And so I acquired a lot of knowledge when I was 18, 19, but it wasn't until older where I implemented a lot of the things. It's the implementing that might take a little bit longer, because you rewire and then you put it into action. You set goals of things that are going to make you happy. And honestly, an easy one to right off the bat start feeling less depressed is to remember what you enjoyed as a child and start doing those things again. I loved to sing as a child, and when I started to sing again, I was overjoyed, and I was so imaginative as a child. Like, I will still do a blanket fort. Hell yeah. It's the things that give you joy. When you're at your most pure state, you honestly gotta go back to that. Dancing, too. I love to dance. And those were a lot of things that I just stopped doing once I got depressed. And we don't even realize that we're not doing the things that we love to do. And you set goals for yourself as well, and to just spend time with yourself. I started to allow myself to spend time with myself instead of looking outside of myself for friends to make me happy, and always hanging out with friends. I did that for a while. I would always be hanging out with a bunch of other people so I don't have to confront the feelings of myself. Allow that time for yourself. Allow time. Like when I was 21, I started meditating and doing yoga and actually showing my mind and body that I do love myself. And that's where you start incorporating physical stuff. It's physical showing and acts of self-love. Like all I used to eat was horrible food, like bacon cheese fries, pizza rolls, ramen that has hazardous additives in it. I started really being conscious of the food that I put in my body, and I used to get blackout drunk all the time. And being conscious of that as well, to now where I don't drink alcohol. And that was a long process of me, even times where I stopped and then the social aspects would reel me back in. But I slowly incorporated those physical acts of self-love. So there's the rewiring of your brain. There's doing things that you loved as a child. There's setting goals for yourself that will make you happy. There's spending time with just yourself and allowing yourself to just be with yourself. Finding affirmation within yourself instead of externally. And implementing what you know into reality. So I hope that some of these ways that I got out of depression could help some of you guys. If you're in a rough spot in your life, know that no one can make you feel something that you don't let them. And know that you have the power and you have the choice to be happy and have a happy mindset. And of course we're going to get sad at some things that may happen in our lives, but we can bounce back if we have a safe place within ourselves to come home to. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a great day.